Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to be looking at some data mining info that might kind of give us an idea of what is coming in the next couple of months on Animal Crossings. So we're going to jump straight into this and we'll go from there. So all this information came from one guy on Twitter. So I will link his Twitter below and then you can have a look and see what you think. Read it for yourself in a bit more detail. So we'll start jumping straight into it. So as you can see guys, when I load this up, so this is the sorry guys, so this is the guy, so it's at _ninja, and he posted this on April the 19th, which was a good couple of days before the update. So the update came out on the 23rd. And I think we got a little trailer, a little snippet like 2 days before that. So probably around the 21st. So this came out 2 days before we had any of that information. So that's off. Not posted much about this. I think it's a good time to share some secrets about unreleased features in Animal Crossing that the game code hints at. Some of this might make it as an Earth Day update, some might change before release. So with a data mine, I'm no kind of like big tech expert, but what I understand from reading these tweets is that this guy basically has a lot of programming knowledge and he's gone into the code and he's looked for strings of code or like file names or whatever that kind of give us an indication or an idea of things that they've started working on, or maybe they've worked on and then cut it, but it's basically bits of code and names and stuff of things that currently aren't in the game. So it gives us a clue that in some timeline this has been used or this has been worked on. So let's have a look. Museum, there's entries for 2 extra museum upgrades. All 3 levels after the tent seem to contain an art section. Now, we know that is now true. We know that Red's back and Blathers is now asking for art. So this adds a little bit of credibility to this whole data mine straight from the off. There also seems to be 2 standalone buildings, the museum shop and the museum cafe, which incorporates a gyroid section. So obviously we've seen Lloyd, who takes the donations for the bridges and the inclines. But other than that, we haven't seen any more in the game. They usually come up after it's rained, and you dig them up like fossils. Some people like them, some people hate them, but I definitely think it's a cool mechanic or a cool thing to collect in the game. I think so far the fossil part of the museum has been quite easy to complete, just because there's been nothing else. So we've been getting like 4, in some cases 5 fossils a day. So it's meant we've been able to rack up that museum entries really quickly, whereas in previous games when we had gyroids as well, you don't know which one you're going to dig up. So it adds that bit of an extra kind of excitement to it, or kind of extra element, I guess, makes it a little bit harder to fill the museum up, which is, makes the game last longer ultimately. But also, if the museum cafe is coming back, that means Brewsters coming back, and we all love Brewster, which would be really cool to see. It's cool to learn the islanders' different favourite coffee types. I love coffee, so I'm like a big into this. And obviously it's a bit of a chill atmosphere as well, adds something different. The museum shop, that would be cool. I'm not really sure what it could sell. Maybe it'd sell more items kind of what are linked to the different exhibits and stuff in the museum. I don't know. Maybe it's an opportunity for kind of for Flick and CJ to kind of sell a few more like stuff, or I don't know. But it'll be interesting for sure. I definitely feel at the minute the game is lacking like places to do stuff, whether that's coffee shops or shops or there's not much, and I feel that's what it's really lacking at the minute. So this would be really good. It goes on to say, Red appears to have a ship which will dock on the secret beach at the north of the island. The particular acre is called something in Japanese. I'm not going to try and say it. It's a Japanese name. The fake art mechanic is back. Why do I always press that? Yeah, but I don't know more details. So we know that to be true now. Red's turned up, he's at the secret beach, he sells us a piece of art which we give to Blathers, and that is what's triggering this museum upgrade. But from there, as we've seen in the trailer, Red then seems to appear at this beach randomly, and you get to look at the art in more detail and try and work out if it's fake or if it's real, and you try and fill your museum up that way. So yeah, really good. I'm really glad something else is coming, like another mechanic is coming to fill that museum, which is really cool. Goes on to say Fauna, bushes are coming back, and then it goes through the different types. Those might change. The list actually changed between the different updates. So again, we know that is true now. Leaf has brought the bushes back. What bushes you got on the first kind of day or two of the upgrade depend on, different for everybody. I mean, I had the tea leaf ones, and my friend had what did they have? They had something else. But anyway, so I've seen across on Facebook that everyone had slightly different bushes, but all those are back, which is really good. And again, remember, this came out before we knew about all this, before the update, before we knew about the trailer. So this again adds that credibility to it. Now this next bit I think is really interesting. Vegetables that you can grow and pick. Tomato, wheat, sugarcane, potato, carrot and pumpkin. So I think this would be cool. Adds like another mechanic to the game. Something a little bit different. Yeah, the more stuff to do, the better really. Version 1.00 has a file for Seafood Critterpedia. That's supposed to contain 33 items, and the only one in the released game is the Manila clam, which we know is used at the minute for the bait for the fish, and it's an absolute nightmare. You catch them, they don't stack, and you can only craft individually. So it's a bit of a frustrating mechanic for sure. But it's there, so to have 33 more, that would be, really cool. But what are they being used for? Is, that would be, it suggests that there's another element coming to the game. Will it help us catch rare fish, or, what's the other 33? There's a third Nooks Cranny reference, but no details, features or upgrade requirements. So that could just be that. I don't know, maybe they're putting it in there, and they'll add to that later on as they decide what path they want it to take. Diving. So I missed New Leaf in terms of like progression of the game. I used to play Wild World, and then on the DS, and then obviously I've come back into Animal Crossing now. So, but I do understand that diving was in the old game, which would be really cool. So diving will allow you to obtain fish, a different set of fish of course, and seaweed. There's a portion of the save file reserved to store them already. I'm not sure how or if this ties into the Seafood Critterpedia page. Not enough info yet. So again, another mechanic. It adds something to the game. I personally think diving would maybe come as a summer update. It adds a bit of a more interesting kind of thing, like, diving's cool. Everyone goes diving in the summer. It's a summer activity almost. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like diving in summer would be really cool. And yeah, opportunity maybe to catch more different types of fish. I don't know, but again, the more that you can add to this game, the better it's going to be. It's already a good game. So imagine if all these features do end up making the cut and end up coming to the game in updates. It's going to be so cool. Unused shopping interfaces, so Sea Garden, Sea Museum, Sea Real Estate, Sea Gallery. These might not be fully fledged shops. In particular, this particular system includes Nook Mile Redemption, Bridge Slope type purchases, and Kick Shoes, for example. I mean, Sea Gardening, I would expect that to be Leaf. At the minute he's turning up in the same way that Kix turns up. So he's just turning up on the plaza randomly throughout the Earth Day event thing, or nature event. I would like to see Leaf stay permanently in some sort of capacity, so whether he continues like Kix and just makes an appearance every now and again, but I would really like to see him either go into a shop, either his own shop, or maybe join into the Nook shop. I don't know, maybe that could be part of a future upgrade, like the third upgrade, who knows. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see Leaf sticking about. I like the bushes. A few more loose ends, do have nothing further to draw a conclusion on. The code that pops up, select an item to give to villager cell swap, has a red option. Will you be able to give him stuff? So, you know, that could be another cool mechanic added to the game. I mean, I don't know what you give him. I can't imagine you give him your art back if he sold you a fake, but maybe you could, I don't know, try and befriend him more, and then he's more likely to give you a real one, or gives you better. I don't know. There's got to be something, or maybe he'll set you a challenge. I don't know, but there's, and if you know, it sounds good. There's a function that stores a play report, Nintendo's aggregate stats on gameplay, with 3 variants: Get Recipe DIY, Get Recipe Clothing, Get Recipe Cooking. The only DIY one is actually ever used, so the other 2 might be in the plans. I mean, I would imagine cooking ties into earlier, when they said about the vegetables. That would be cool, you know, pick up some vegetables, or grow vegetables in some capacity, and then you, I don't know, have to make them into a dish where we give those dishes to villagers. Maybe it helps with build stamina for digging up trees. I don't know, but yeah, I'm all for it. Some mentions of stuff in this thread have been removed. I'm going to link this below, guys, so you can definitely kind of have a full read, and a lot of people have commented with their suggestions, what they think's happening. It's a good read. You should definitely go have a look at this thread. I'm guessing that, so basically what it's saying is they've started to change the name, so T Shop and W Office as well, which isn't actually used yet. So whatever W Office is, that again is something else that we might be able to see in a future update. But they've basically started to use a little bit less obvious namings for them, so it's a little bit harder for us to see what's coming. But yeah, I'm gonna put all this down. But like, basically, guys, we know some of this is obviously coming to fruition now. We know it's true, and it's come in the most recent update. Just because it's in the in the data mine, it doesn't necessarily mean it's definitely coming in an update. It just means at some point in the development of this game, it has been worked on, it's been thought about, and they've started to code for it. It could be that they've coded it and they've actually scrapped it and we're never going to see it, or it might be that it's there and it'll get released in a future update. You know, like, so who knows? I'd love to know, guys, what bit are you most excited about coming? I'm personally quite excited about the vegetables. I've got right into it at the minute, trying to grow my flowers to produce the hybrids, so I think having something else to grow and stuff, that would be really cool. Diving obviously would be sick, but yeah, I think I'm most excited about, I mean, I was dead excited about the bushes and Leaf coming back when I first read it, but obviously he's definitely back now. He's here. I've got bushes all over my island. It's crazy. So yeah, obviously Brewster as well, if the museum cafe does come, that would be sick. So yeah, let me know what you're most excited about. For me, it's Brewster and the vegetables, but we'll have to see. If you've enjoyed the video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It's free, it really helps me out, and it knows that you guys are kind of enjoying the content I'm putting out. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!